Hi everyone, welcome to another Sizzy Talk Live. Today we are having Mark Michalisin on. He is a past professor of mine at the College of St. Rose, and he currently teaches sales, and he was in the industry for over a decade from personal experience and professional experience, so I'm very excited to have him on. While we wait for our viewers to trickle in, I'm just going to show you guys our new version, just because we did release a new software update on Sizigi. So I will get to that right now. It's got a lot of cool different key insights that not many other job platforms do. So right now I am in Tyler Smith's account, which is just the person that we use. Tyler Smith is our mascot. So all of our work that we're testing, anything that we want to see on our platform before we go live, this is how it looks. And actually, if you use Safari, I know my Chrome is out of date, so that's why. So let me go to Safari to show you guys, because of the formatting on this one doesn't look great. I also have to do an incognito, but Sizigi. So you would just log in how you normally would with any of your other accounts with Sizigi. So go in, type in that's not it. So this is how it would look. I know mine got a little cut off, but I just wanted to show you guys an up-to-date version. So you can post all of your work within your portfolio here. You can actually view it as a hiring manager. So you can see they would be able to see all of your published work, which then you would be able to go into, they could expand upon. You can tag what career field or department this is in, upload a video or a photo or a graphic. You can also now see how many times your portfolio has been viewed by a hiring manager, and you are also able to do presentations. So I don't think that the presentation has popped up. So this is right here. It would be under my presentations, under this little icon. And as the free software allows, you are allowed to have 2 presentations available to send to hiring managers. If you want to directly message a hiring manager or speak with them through your ePortfolio, this would be a great opportunity to do that, whether that's uploading a video, just a short about me, anything that you really creatively choose. And then all down here is listed your job experience, your education. This is your personal information over here. So I just wanted to give you guys a rundown of all of that. So this is a summary, your content, and your resume, which Tyler doesn't have a resume because he's not a real person. But I just wanted to run through that really quickly with you guys. And I will end this live stream here with that because Mark is officially here with us. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Good morning, Abby. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on and talking with us.
Thanks for the invite.
Of course. So I had previously mentioned, but I'll introduce again. This is Mark Michalisin. He is a professor at the College of St. Rose teaching sales. And I learned a lot of soft skills and sales skills and just professional skills that any young adult should possess when going into a new career or a professional career, or just for themselves, because you never know when you're going to meet that person that you want to give your 10-second elevator pitch to or 60-second elevator pitch to. And Mark has been a huge journey within my personal confidence, especially within professionalism. So it means a lot that you're on today, and I thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here with us.
I always have time for a student.
All right, so why don't we get right into the questions? I do have a couple written out for you right here. So let's start with soft skills. Where would you start within that sector for building up confidence or giving advice to somebody who doesn't really know what soft skills are?
So I'll take it in spurts. So the first off is confidence, Abby. You know, from day one, that's all I preach. It's all about confidence. And everybody has confidence. It's inside here. Everybody has confidence. It's my job as a professor to pull it out of you and get you to believe in yourself. Because once you can do that, once you believe in yourself and have confidence, you can do anything. So soft skills, it's more, honestly, I look at them, they're essential skills. And these are things that aren't really taught in school. And by I mean soft skills, how do you walk into a room? How do you shake somebody's hand? Do you look them in the eye? How do you have a conversation? How do you stand up in front of an audience and talk with confidence? Because when you walk into a room, you get one shot of the first impression, and that starts immediately. When you're in a job fair and there's 300 other people vying for that job, how is the recruiter going to remember you? If you approach their table walking with confidence, walking with a purpose, and the message you're sending is, I am here for a reason, and you are going to have a very good conversation with me. That recruiter is going to remember you that night. Out of all the resumes, and resumes are words on paper, you have to make the resume come alive. And by walking confidently and introducing yourself, that recruiter is going to write your name down. And later on, they're going to look at it and say, Abby Burkhardt. Oh, that's right. Abby is the one that walked with confidence and introduced her. And I knew just by looking at her, this was going to be a good conversation. These are skills everybody needs every day. And I make it a point. I mean, Abby, how many times did you have to walk into the classroom practicing walking into a room?
Probably over 5, like over a handful of times.
It helps. And it's getting you out of your comfort zone, but it's also making you realize that these are the skills that are going to differentiate you from the other people and make you stand out.
So I know that a lot of people, especially myself, when learning these soft skills, it required me to kind of get out of my comfort zone and not really care about, what other people had thought of me, especially because we were doing it in front of an entire class. So what are some tips or some advice that you could give to people who aren't as overtly confident within themselves and within walking in a room just yet, but can get there with practice?
Honestly, it all just starts with believe in yourself. If you have that inner belief, you're going to do fine. And just remember, this is you. You know yourself the best. And get out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid. And here's the other thing, Abby, and I know I've told you this in class. It doesn't matter if you fail. It doesn't matter if you fall down in life. You will fall down in life. I tell my kids this, my 2 boys, I tell my students to this day, I don't care how many times you get knocked down. I care how many times you get back up and keep moving forward. And if you fail greatly. You fail, at least you try. At least you gave it your shot and you weren't standing on the sidelines watching. So just put yourself out there. Because every time you hear no, or every time you fall down, that's getting you one step closer to hearing yes, one step closer to your goal. So just believe in yourself, because everybody has it in them to be successful. And as long as you have that confidence and you keep going forward every day, do something better today than you did yesterday. Do something different that you didn't do yesterday that's getting you out of your comfort zone. And if it means looking in the mirror and practicing, if it means walking into a room all by yourself and videotaping it and then watching it over, do it. Practice, practice, practice. That's all you need to do.
Absolutely. I know. So when we were doing that within class, and then the next week, I believe we had to get up in front of the entire class and give elevator speeches, which was a completely different feel
Yep.
in terms of comfort, because I know that I'm one to usually stare down at the floor when I'm
Yeah.
speaking
Yes,
to an
you do.
audience. So I tried to like kind of graze in the back of the room. But what should, if people don't know, what should an elevator pitch consist of,
All right,
and how long should it be?
so this is how I look at an elevator pitch. If an elevator pitch is, you're in a hotel lobby, and if I look across the lobby and I see Abby, and I've been trying to get a hold of Abby for months because I have this great idea that I need to talk to her about. Because if I can get her attention, I can guarantee I'm going to be able to convince her that this is the best way to go. All of a sudden, I see Abby walking into an elevator. Now I'm sprinting across the lobby floor because I got to get in that elevator with her. Now I see Abby has pressed the third floor. We're in the lobby. I have maybe 30 seconds, 40 tops, to convince Abby to meet with me at the next available time to hear me out. So the elevator pitch is, this is who I am. This is my idea. This is how it's going to benefit you. In 30 seconds. That's it. And the goal is not to sell something in an elevator pitch, but it's to grab somebody's attention. You leave them wanting more. You leave them wanting to have a continuing conversation. That's the elevator pitch. You always leave them wanting more. And that way, Abby's going to look at me and say, okay, Mark, next Tuesday, 10 a.m., let's have this conversation. You've intrigued me. You have my interest. I want to hear more. That's the elevator pitch.
Awesome. Yeah, I've only done it once so far in my life within class, but I'm certain that there will be a time where I'm starstruck by somebody that I've always wanted to work with and pitch myself to them. And when that day comes, I will be sure to reach out to you,
Yeah,
Mark, and I'll let you know how it
what I'm
went.
here for.
So let's move right into your background within sales. You've been in the industry for, is it over a decade or is it 2 decades?
25 years. I started 6 months out of college.
Okay.
And it's been 25 years, and I basically worked within the same industry in the same company for the entire time. And I was lucky enough when I got my first job at Encore Paper, I met two of the most probably professional salespeople that became the biggest influencers of my sales career, Joe Russo and Joe Rakuya. They were my mentors. And to this day, I still talk with them and I still ask them for advice. But they were there and I got in with them, and especially Joe Russo. He was my first manager, and he basically took me under his wing and taught me everything I need to know about sales to be professional. And one of the biggest lessons he ever taught me is, and this is something that a lot of people don't do, the easiest thing a salesperson can do is return a phone call. The hardest thing salespeople do, the thing that they don't do on a continuous basis, is return a phone call. So you need to be responsive.
Issues. Are you still there? Sorry, I had some internet connection issues.
No,
that's my fault.
So, and what I sold for 25 years is a product you guys can't live without. You can't. And I sold napkins, towels, and toilet paper to the away from home business. And I loved it. It was a great job for 25 years. And I was a sales trainee, a sales rep. I moved into marketing, and then I became the vice president of business development. And I learned every step of the way that every day I had to wake up and prove myself and work as hard as I can and be a leader and lead by example. And I wanted to learn something every day. I never stopped learning. And it's been a great idea. But now I'm here at St. Rose, and this is the best job I've ever had. I can't wait to get up in the morning to come to work. I don't look at this as work. This is fun for me. This is exciting. I get to work with students like yourself every day to introduce them to the world of sales, because Sales skills, Abby, they're life skills. These are skills that you can take to any career. It doesn't have to be sales. I would love for you to be in sales, but these are skills that you can take anywhere. Negotiation, personal selling, conflict resolution, leadership. You can take them any career that you want to do on any given day. You're going to have to utilize these. So that's what I'm trying to teach and get across.
I agree. And especially with building those professional relationships and building the business rapport with people that you might not know outside of work or, through another friend, but you've never met before, you really need to possess those soft skills in order to make the situation less awkward, more comfortable, and more professional for everybody in the equation. So with those right. business rapport relationships, do you think that... Sorry.
Yep, I can hear you.
That's totally my fault.
Yeah, that's okay.
With any business relationship or deal that you're striking up, how do you know as a sales professional when you're giving too much or when you should break off a deal, if you should ever break off a deal? You
have to go into every negotiation with good faith. And the thing is, as a salesperson, you're not selling something, and you're not selling the item. You're building a relationship. You're building a partnership. You're creating value. You're bringing value to what you have. And that's going to solidify your partnership. The product will come. So you have to go into a negotiation with knowing what you want to achieve, but it has to be win-win. It has to be mutually beneficial. Both parties have to walk away thinking, I got what I wanted. And you're going to have to give up something, and they're going to have to give up something. But there's going to come a point in time where you're going to have to walk away, that it's just not the time. And it may not be, it's never no, never. It's no, not at this time. So in my personal experience, Abby, I had a customer that took me 4 years to say yes to me, to give me the order and to become a partner. But I always took no as, Mark, not right now. The time is not right. But I kept in touch with them. I kept calling them and emailing them just to touch base. And finally, after 4 years, I got the yes. And it was one of the biggest customers that we could put on. And basically the trajectory of the company went that way as soon as it happened. And it was a great accomplishment, and perseverance definitely paid off. But I didn't take no as never, Mark, I'm not going to buy from you. It was no, it's not the right time.
So how often would you kind of check back in with that company on either a week basis or a month basis for the 4 years that you're trying to get that account?
It was probably like once every other month, once a quarter. But then as I got the signs that things were loosening up and things were changing, then it was every month.
Okay.
And then it was me, when I was in the area, stopping in to see them, phone calls, emails, or if I saw them at a conference, just to touch base.
Awesome. Yeah, those skills are more than needed with any profession, especially when you're going to an interview. Well, now it's e-interviews, just because everything happening with coronavirus has kind of left that to be, we're mostly working over computers or through Zoom, which I'm very happy St. Rose taught me how to use Zoom before I entered the business world or the real life work world. It's definitely important that you can persuade the hiring manager or show them that you are confident and skilled within yourself through those soft skills, through the communication skills, and by showing them something that they would seriously be missing out on if they didn't hire you. So that's what we love to possess here at Sizigi. We love to show hiring managers, different recruiters, all of the great work that everyone can put onto their portfolios and just be confident within themselves and to get the job that is perfect for them.
I mean, to me, being here at St. Rose, this is my second academic year, and to be at a college that has the only sales management program in New York State. So we're the only college or university that offers a sales major. That's pretty important. And that means a lot to me that, okay, I'm starting something that within the next 5 years, I made a commitment to the president of the college that I want to make this sales program an elite program in the nation. And we'll get there. And it's not so, it's the confidence I have in the school. It's the confidence I have in the students. And it's the confidence I have in our business partners that are helping us. And of course, I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen, because I know in my heart that this is going to work and we're going to be an elite sales program. Because, I mean, look at, students like yourself, Abby, like you're the success story. I mean, look, you took my classes, and all I tried to do is, you always had the talent in there. I just helped you along the way and helped you see your potential. That's my job. You got the job on your own. Okay. All I did was help you, sharpen your skills. And that's my job. And that's why I love what I do, because I can look and see you being successful, saying, I've done my job.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. I'm very happy that I took the class, honestly, because I would have said that I had soft skills before having even known what soft skills are. And now after taking the class, it was like, hey, those needed a little, with my career choice, everything has been kind of solidified with me in terms of my career path, especially after starting with Sizigi. It almost gave that little green check, like, yep, I went to school for the right thing. I know what I'm doing, and I have the confidence to achieve the goals that I want for myself.
I try to tell everybody, take a class in sales, because you're going to learn skills that you can use every day in life. You're going to have to negotiate. If you don't learn to negotiate, you're going to be paying sticker price for the car, and nobody wants to do that. You're going to have to resolve a conflict at some point. I mean, so you're going to have to utilize these skills each and every day in your life. And I'm just trying to open your eyes to a potential career that within 5 to 7 years, there's going to be 500,000 sales jobs available. So guess what? If you have the foundation of personal selling, negotiation, conflict resolution, and leadership, companies are going to be very interested in you, because then they could take what you have as a foundation and mold you into the salesperson that they want. And so I'm just trying to prepare the students for life after college, to prepare them to get the job that they're going to be successful at.
Absolutely. I will turn this over to the audience now. If anybody has any questions, let me know, and you guys can send them this way, and we will ask Mark some questions.
Now, I told my dad.
Until then, how's it been with?
I told my dad that he may be watching this, that he's not allowed to ask questions.
Okay.
He's actually the one that I learned sales from. I mean, he was in sales, and I consider him the best salesperson I've ever met. Plus, he's, to use a term from The Godfather, he's my concierge. He's the individual that I go to all the time for advice, to talk to. And I mean, as a little boy, I remember him getting all dressed up to go to work, and it was like, yeah, I could do that someday. And so if he asks any questions, I'm going to know it's him.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any pull through yet. I'll give it another couple of minutes.
No worries.
How has teaching been with Zoom and everything, and going back to campus?
It's interesting. I mean, you know me. I mean, I love being in the classroom. So I love the connect. So I'm teaching in the class, and then I have students that are online. So it's different, because I'm teaching to people sitting in front of me, and I'm teaching to somebody through a computer screen. So you're making it work. You make it work. But I hope that come springtime, everybody's back on campus, because like we couldn't do the lemonade challenge this year, Abby.
Oh, so that was so fun last year.
Yeah, so we couldn't do that but we learned. We're doing other things. So, it's exciting. Now, I mean, it's a passion. coming to work every day. I mean, I live for this. And, with St. Rose and the support we're getting, now we're going to host, we're going to host a high school sales competition, Abby. And our students are going to be mentors for the high school kids.
That's awesome. We just finished our case competition entries the other day, but I had blasted that all over everywhere. Hopefully we'll be doing another one soon so I can share it with you guys. Yeah. But we do have a question. What are some tips? What are some tips you would suggest to ace your e-interviews, both of you guys? So I'll let you go first, Mark.
All right. So honestly, Sayana, it's be yourself. And I've told you this in class. You are a very energetic, very confident individual. And I think when you go into your interviews, even if an e-interview or in person, so an e-interview is just be yourself, be confident, let your personality come through. Let your personality come through the video, and make your resume come alive. Your resume are a bunch of words on a piece of paper. Make them come alive. Talk about them. Be proud of what you have on there and what you did to achieve there and get there, and why you are the individual that should be the person that's hired. That's what you need to do. And it all comes down to believing in yourself, being confident, and making that resume come alive. So when you're done, that individual is going to say, Sayana Jennings, yes, she would fit our team to a T.
I agree with everything that Mark had said. I always like to keep a little bulleted list right next to me, either of what the company is about, what their mission, core values, and drive are, what I can accomplish or what I have accomplished, just in case they ask me for any metrics based upon past success. I also really encourage everybody. I know it sounds biased because we're on a Sizzy Talk, but if you haven't made a Sizigi account, it is meant to help you stand out in the hiring directly for the hiring manager or the recruiter or whoever I'd be interviewing with or hiring me. And I direct it exactly towards them so that they know that this was made especially for them. Kind of sets me aside from the pile of 500 resumes that people have submitted for the same one job. And it also allows you to display all of your past work. So if you've done work within sales or Excel or whatever your major or career path is in, you can upload all of those files there along with your resume and all of your personal information. So, and you can share it privately with them. So I love Sizigi for that part. It kind of just like picks you out from a little crowd and like kind of puts you over to the side, because not many people know about Sizigi. It's completely free for everybody to use, and it allows you to be so unique within your own creative values and styles, and upload some meaningful work to show these hiring managers you are skilled and you are able to ace this job position in interviews. Thank you for the question, Sayana. That was great. We have another question from Mohammed. So, are there some steps that you follow as a prescription in any sales or negotiation? The methodology which you prefer?
I'll answer it this way. No matter what you need to do, you need to plan. You need to plan your sales call. You need to plan your negotiation. Knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have of the company that you're pitching to, or the person that you're negotiating with, you need to understand that. You need to get into the mind of the buyer, because the buyer has certain wants and needs, and you need to uncover those wants and needs. You need to ask questions. You need to get them to give you the answers. And the biggest thing I can tell you, Mohammed, is you need to listen. And you need to actively listen. Now, Abby will remember this story. I have 2 boys. They are born with good hearing, but they don't listen to me all the time. Or they listen, they hear what they want to hear. Okay? And most of the time, they are formulating an answer while I'm telling them something, and they're not listening to what I'm saying. Okay? Actively listening is to listen to what they're saying. You listen with your ears, your eyes, and your heart. Okay. So you listen with your ears, you hear what they say. You listen with your eyes and you see body language. You listen to the heart because you're empathetic. You understand. But if you ask questions and get to the root of the issue, the customer is giving you the answers to the test. And if you listen, you will be able to formulate a strategy to offer them a solution that will benefit and help them succeed with their needs. Same with a negotiation. You need to go in with a plan. What are you looking to get out of? What is the customer looking to get out of? What are you willing to give up? And what is the end result that you want? What is mutually beneficial that you're willing to accept? Or do you walk away? Because again, there is no harm in walking away when the deal is not mutually beneficial to both parties. Does that answer your question, Mohammed?
I'll wait for him to respond. In the meantime, we do have another question from our CEO, Tony Miles. So he asks, what sales tips do you have to open new accounts in this virtual environment?
Yeah, this is interesting because this is uncharted waters if you're a street salesperson like I am. My sales tips is basically you need to prospect. So Abby will remember this too. A prospect is a pipeline or it's a funnel. So you can have 1,000 prospects. You throw them all in the funnel. Out of 1,000, you're going to get 200 leads. Out of 200 leads, you may close 15 of them. So you continually need to be prospecting and asking questions. But you need to be empathetic in this day and age. You have to understand the environment that we're living in. Businesses are tough. Businesses are tight. They're suffering. So you come at it from an empathetic way and say, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help you get back on your feet? What can I do? How can my products help you turn it around and move forward? Because in the virtual world right now, you don't need to see people. Okay. So guess what? Turn that into your advantage. The time spent driving in a car an hour to go see 3 people, you're sitting in front of your computer, you could be reaching out to 10 people or 15 people. Use it to your advantage. Use the time. And in virtual world, it's their time is valuable, your time is valuable. Make sure you have a plan in place. And look at the sales environment and say, where haven't I called on before? And cold call. You have to cold call. As much as people don't like to, because it's fear of rejection, what's the worst they're going to say? No? Okay, you're going to hear no more times than you're going to hear yes. Okay? But keep moving forward. And just keep adding prospects to your funnel. Because you're going to have to. And virtually, be yourself. Okay? Just be authentic. Don't be fake. Just be authentic. And you're going to get people that don't want to talk to you, especially if you come at it from, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help solve your needs?
Beautifully said. So we have one last question from Karina. What should you say in an elevator pitch, and how can I practice?
Okay, so the one elevator pitch that I just had my students do was, who are you? Okay, now, you're the expert on who you are. But talking about yourself is probably the hardest thing to do. So what do you say in an elevator pitch? So if I'm elevator pitching Abby, I want to state my name, who I work for, what my product is, and how I think it could help them. So it could be something like this. Abby, my name is Mark Michelson. I represent XYZ company. Abby, if I could have a solution for you and that would save your shipping cost by 50%, would that be of interest to you? You give them a statement, Karina, you give them a statement that grabs their attention and now leaves them wanting more. So how can you practice? By doing what I just did. Get a coworker and say, I want to practice my elevator pitch. Get a couple different topics. Now, my class on Monday, their topic for elevator pitch is favorite vacation place. And their goal is make me want you to ask additional questions about that individual place. But Karina, that's what you need to do, is just practice. And the best way to get somebody to say yes in an elevator pitch is portray confidence and make that one statement that's going to grab their attention and say, I want to know more. I'm intrigued. Where else can I go with this? So I think hopefully that answers your question, and hopefully I answered everybody else's question, especially the big boss's question.
He did say thank you. Yeah, so you were awesome. Thank you so much for coming on today, Mark.
Abby,
I could not thank you enough.
And like I said, anytime you need anything, Abby, once a student, always a student, Abby. So I'm proud of you. I think you're going to do phenomenal, Abby. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mark. Bye, everyone.